Hey guys, Jen with Astro T. Hope y'all are having a great holiday season, whether it's Christmas or you're still in the middle of Yule. Hope you're having a great time. Anyway, we have something important coming up. So yes, we have the new year coming up, but what is one day before the new year this year? It is our last lunation of 2024. And this one's a biggie, guys. It is kicking off the new year with a bang with this new moon in Capricorn that's on the 30th. So that is one day before New Year's Eve. So we got to make this one count, y'all. So this new moon will be at 9 degrees, 43 minutes of Capricorn, happening about 5:27 Eastern Standard Time here in New England. Now, this is our third of 6 lunations of new moons anyway, at the 9th degree of their sign. The last one was our new moon in Sagittarius at the beginning of the month, and that was at 9 degrees of Sagittarius, obviously. So this actually started going back even with the new moon in Scorpio on November 1st, and ending after the last one will be our new moon in Aries, and that will actually be ending with a solar eclipse, and that's going to be on March 29th. So a lot of important new moons coming up here, guys. We know next year is going to be a huge transitional year. So this new moon really just begs the question, are we ready for 2025 and beyond, and what it has in store for us and the world in general? Well, let's get ready. So the new moon, beginning with that, motivating Capricorn cardinal energy to really get us going on a good grounded footing. So Mercury will be opposing Jupiter. So we have here our chart. So we see that Mercury is in an opposition with Jupiter that's down here in Gemini. They are in, like I've said before, they are in mutual reception. So that means that Mercury is in the sign that Jupiter rules, and Jupiter is in the sign that Mercury rules. So that's mutual reception. So they do work well together, even though they're not in their home signs. So we have a lot of ideas and inspirations, and are gaining that footing with this new moon to be moving forward and to really just get ready, because we see the world is changing around us. And now is the time that we want to think, where do we want to be, and how do we want to work in and fit in with this whole new world that is on the horizon. There's so many changes, and these are changes that we haven't seen in thousands of years, that everything happening at once astrologically, and we want to be ready for it. And we want to be able to know where we want to be and how we want to navigate this future going forward. So did you get focused with that full moon in Gemini ritual that we had about halfway through the month? And how about with the solstice? I'll have a link at the end in the description with those videos. And it's really important that you just really manifest what future you want and how you're going to go about getting it. And this is the time to get started. So what a way to end 2024 than with our 2nd December new moon, and right before celebrating New Year's Eve. So if you think about, just what we celebrate on New Year's Eve, we leave the past year behind. And, no matter if you are into astrology or anything, everyone looks at like new year, new start. We're going to leave the past behind and, start anew. The new moons are also a time to set intentions, just like making a New Year's resolution. So it's really similar to, okay, I'm going to, quit doing this, or I'm going to start doing this. But because this new moon is in Capricorn, these are intentions that hopefully we're going to stick to, and not drop come February and be like, okay, this whole working out every day thing is just insane, So hopefully these are serious intentions with serious thought put behind them of how we're going to navigate our life going forward, and how we are going to be practical, be logical with these goals. We're going to set these intentions and know what work will need to be done, and we'll be ready for it. Capricorn likes putting in that work. Remember, this is a Saturn ruled sign, and Saturn, gives back to who puts in the work. So it will, you have to put the work in. And if you don't, it's not going to necessarily help you out. It might be a little more rough on you. So we're going to build upon this foundation. Now, this is where this foundation starts. So it's like we are climbing the ladder. So you have our ladder, and we want to make sure it's stable. So, you don't want to put your ladder on a ground that's moving like this and be all wobbly as you're going up. You want to get it nice, firm foundation. So make sure those intentions that you're setting and those thoughts and those ideas really make sense, and that they're logical and they're practical and they're not totally crazy, but you also want to aim high. We know that there's going to be a complete transformation in the world around us, and we want to be able to move and change with it. So think of where you want to be and make yourself there. So we're going to start on solid ground, and we're going to start our ascent. The full moons are, again, new starts. In our the winter solstice episode, we spoke about releasing what is no longer beneficial. So it's getting rid of those burdens, because how can you really climb a ladder if you have just this huge weighted backpack on? You want to release those burdens that are not no longer necessary to us, that are just holding us back, that are just like, this isn't working for me anymore, so I'm going to let it go. And you're going to release some of that weight so you're able to climb that much easier. So you want to, again, check out the solstice video of, it's it's a nice relaxing ritual that we have, that you can just really, set your intentions and just keep all those earthy things around you, so that you can start that ascent. When you begin with Saturn as your ruler, it's going to take work with each step. So it's not like you're just gonna boop, 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 climb right up. Each step is going to be a process, and you're going to have to be, okay, now what are we gonna do? Boom. Okay, now what are we gonna do? Boom. And this is when you want to kind of get that plan in action. So say your plan is to, I have a 5-year plan. I want to move somewhere in 5 years. Say that's your plan. Okay, well, how am I going to do that? So first, I want to start saving money. So how am I going to do that? Maybe I'll get a side account and start putting X amount of money in there. Okay, there's one step. And then the next step can be, okay, now I'm going to sell the house I'm living in. So what do I need to do to get this house ready to be on the market? Okay, there's the next step. And then I'm going to start looking at places maybe that I want to live and how we're going to go about doing that. There's the next step, looking for jobs, making sure maybe the job that you currently work at, you can do remote, anything. So this is what I mean, but like each rung is going to be a thought out process, because it's not just going to be, I want to move here, drop everything and go. I mean, some of you Sages out there, you will do that, but sometimes that's not going to work out so well for all of us. So we just need to start that planning and really just have a good foundation and a good plan. What's great about Saturn and a Capricorn is you have that pride that, like, I put in all this work and now I'm benefiting from it. And you want to wear that pride, because that's your achievement. Every step that you make towards your future is going to be a sense of pride, because, oh, I accomplished this and I feel good about it. And yes, I accomplished something else and I feel good about that. So I'm just continuing that climb, and you want to wear that with confidence, because you don't want to be kind of that a person that's just like, okay, I did this and I'm not, no, I want to be confident about it. Look at how hard I worked on this and I deserve to be recognized for it. So you could tell that to maybe, your boss, or if you did something around the house that you're proud of, tell, your family or whatever, show off your hard work, and wear it with pride, because, you put in that hard work, you deserve to get recognized for it. And you want to show that you're happy and proud of what you did and what you're capable of doing. But we will have challenges along the way with this, because with the full moon in Capricorn, that was back on July 10th. So, and 2 days after that, it's going to be the full moon in Capricorn in July 10th of 2025. And that is going to be 2 days after Uranus moves into Gemini. So, this is going to be a long process. It's not just a 2-week process. So, of course, we're thinking long-term plan for a lot of our goals right now are going to be until July, because this is our new moon in Capricorn and then our full moon in Capricorn in July. But with that Uranus moving into Gemini, a lot of changes there. Changes to ideas like, whoa, okay, I thought this, now maybe I'm thinking that. It's those quick changes into Gemini. That's our ideas, that's our thoughts, that's our logic, that's the things that we learn. Maybe we learn that, okay, this isn't going to work out, so now we have to fix it. So this is, again, expect the unexpected. Again, look at where this falls in your chart, especially if you have anything along the 9 degree, because these are all going to be happening in about the 9 degrees. So knowing Saturn, again, you put in the work and hopefully it will end good. So hopefully, that Uranus unexpected will be something positive falling in your lap that will help benefit your goals. And, but if you don't put in that work, Saturn's not going to, reward you for it. So maybe things won't be so good. So again, don't just expect things to fall out of the sky and fall into your lap. Because again, Saturn wants you working for it. You're going to, and you'll be prouder for it when you know that everything you did to accomplish your goals. So to start off this cycle, we also have a couple other planetary aspects trying to knock us off our ladder and trying to maybe get it so it's not so strong. So we have Mars opposing Pluto. We see here Mars kind of all by himself over here in that retrograde. So it's going to be really kind of dragging along that for a while. This can be super intense. And again, because of that long retrograde cycle, of Mars, it's going to be going on a long time. There's going to be a lot of contradiction, a lot of maybe opposition with authority, and especially when you're trying to put in the work, maybe that authority is trying to hold you down. Maybe it's something with work, and when you're saying, I work so hard, I deserve a raise, and they're, oh no, this and that. So be ready for that, because you're going to have a lot of that push and pull. But we also have Mars in an out of sign trine to Neptune. So we see here, we have an opposition to Pluto, but then we have that out of sign trine just by a couple degrees with Neptune. So you will, be getting pushed up that ladder, because Mars is kind of motivating us to go. Not too fast though, because it is going to be in retrograde. And it's just kind of giving you that boost that you need, but you're hesitant. Again, with that retrograde, you're hesitant, and we look up and that trine to Neptune is enticing. It's exciting, but we're cloudy and uncertain. So, Neptune is that, we see things and we're positive and we oh, it's just going to be so great. But then, we start getting nervous, because that retrograde is keeping us from really getting active and moving forward. Now Saturn, our ruler in Capricorn, is also going to be T-square with Mercury and Jupiter. So we have the ruler of this new moon, Saturn, and it's in a T-square with Mercury and Jupiter. So we have Saturn here, and you can see how it goes just in a big T. So they're in opposition to each other, and then we have square. So that's what we call a T-square. This can bring a lot of negative thoughts, a lot of trepidation, a lot of anxiety, stress, because with the square to Mercury, okay, we have our mind sometimes going to be telling us, oh, you can't do this. No, and it's throwing those mental blocks up because of the square. And of course, it's only going to be exacerbated by Jupiter, because Jupiter likes to expand things. So it's oh, I want to do this, but there's no way. I just can't do it. No, but you can't be like that. You can't give up, because it's going to be moving on. The planets are going to be, moving away from each other. So this too shall pass. You got to remember anything that's going on, any of these aspects, the outer planet ones do last a while, yes, but with a planet like Mercury, it's going to zoom out of there pretty fast. So those negative thoughts that might be haunting you and keeping you up at night and waking you up, where you're just having that anxiety and you can't sleep because you just don't know what tomorrow's going to bring, you want to know, okay, this is going to go away. Okay, let me just get through this, and keep thinking positively. And, it's, the communication might come a little bit hard. Trying to communicate your ideas might be a little bit difficult. With the Mars opposition to Pluto if it's in that career area, the miscommunication can be especially harmful, knocking you down a rung or two just when you think things are going great. Like, oh, I've been doing great. And then all of a sudden, like, boom, just like something happens. Try not to be stubborn and closed-minded. That is a biggie with Saturn. You don't want to be closed-minded. You want to be open-minded, because that just shuts you down even more. That just puts up more barriers. And you want to watch all those barriers that you're putting up and really just keep that mind open and able to just, work through things. It's going to feel like a slap reality a little bit, because, when you are working towards that, trying to Neptune, and you're just like, oh, it's going to be so great. But then it's just like, oh, wait a minute. This isn't going to go so easy. So we need to just get ready for it. We need to put that work in again, because it's not going to go as smoothly as we always hope. But this is how you'll stabilize. So again, we need that ladder to be super stable. We need it to be on solid ground. So this is, again, okay, we might have to go down a rung, because we got to stabilize a little bit better, because it was a little bit loose, and now we're going to start that ascension again. Be ready to take responsibility for your actions if the miscommunication is something that could have been something that you've done. Maybe there's gossip going around and you need to explain things, or, hiding truths from somebody. Okay, I did this, and maybe things weren't done properly, or maybe you did something that wasn't quite so honorable. You want to be accountable for that. Being accountable for your actions is huge, because you show that others respect that, okay, I'm going to humble myself and I'm going to fall on the sword here for the betterment of everything. And this could be in just your relationships. Okay, I was wrong. Be that person that says you're sorry. Some people have a really hard time with that, and they don't like to admit fault. But sometimes it's best just to again, admit your fault, maybe go down one rung, and then, okay, we're going to patch that up, stabilize again, and start climbing. So again, this can be a lot of career focus, because Capricorn is, very in tune with the 10th house. A lot of this is going to be about career and your reputation as well. So don't ruin it now. Just be responsible and be accountable. Build that stability. That is what's important, because this is, your livelihood. And I know, everyone just focuses on love and home, but how are you going to get all those things if you don't have a good career? How are you going to support this love that you have? How are you going to support your home? So that's why your MC, that's why your 10th house is the highest point of your chart, because that's what you work towards, because this is your reputation. This is who you have worked at becoming. And so putting in that work is giving you the benefits of what you work towards. So, you work hard at your job, you're going to get more money, be able to have nicer things, and maybe be able to travel or do all of those things that you really want to do. But you have to have a means to be able to do it. Even though, none of us like going to work every day. And sometimes, like, our jobs can just seem so like, oh, and it's just in the way of my life, but it's still something that you have to do. Now, Venus gets into the mix, squaring Uranus, and that's really bringing our relationships into spotlight. So relationships with people that we love, with our partners, or even with, our work people. It's all of our interpersonal relationships. Again, blending in with the Mars-Pluto opposition with Saturn T-squared to Mercury and Jupiter, miscommunication can be really huge right here. Even over the top gossip. Don't fall into that. If you hear people that are gossiping and telling things that, you don't have to be involved in that. And getting involved in that can just really make things worse, that much worse. And remember that T square with Jupiter and Saturn, you don't want, Jupiter expanding things that are negative when it comes to what you're trying to work towards in your life. So like, if your ladder is to a commitment in your relationship, Saturn is commitment. Saturn is, going from just casual dating to maybe marriage, or maybe something, getting a ring and getting engaged. It's kind of that contractual thing almost, or even just a symbolic contractual by, having that, giving someone an engagement ring or something like that. The Uranus can really make things take a tumble for you here, because it just loves making things interesting. You know how Uranus is. It's just going to really throw a wrench in. Look at how it's treated you in the past. Is Uranus usually, this is, if it's usually good to you, it could be good to you. If it's usually not good to you, then you might have a little bit of trouble here. But because this is a square, I would expect it to be a little more difficult and uneasy. Other than, so again, what are we working towards? What are we building our foundation towards in this new moon? And these are all things you're going to have to contend with. So get ready for it. And these are the intentions that you want to set. And just think about, okay, how am I going to work through this? We are going to do this and get rid of that negativity, burn those, whatever little rituals you want to do them to help you out so that you can move forward through this and just really try and navigate when Uranus likes to throw that wrench in there. Now, if you're single, for instance, maybe accept something or someone that is completely comes out of the blue. Maybe if you're in a store shopping and someone bumps into your cart or something, or someone that you might never have given a second look at, someone that's totally not your type, something just totally out of left field could come in. Keep an open mind. Again, don't, use that square to your benefit, because you want to open that mind. Don't let Saturn shut that mind down. You want to open it up. Because you just never know. Give it a try, right? Hey, if things haven't worked out, maybe try something different. So we have Saturn sextile to the new moon, which is nice. So let your guard down. And again, be open-minded. You want to just go with the flow and say, okay, maybe this is the new ladder that I'm putting up. Things are going to change and you don't know what the future has to bring. You want to get your chart up. And I'm opening up for readings. If you want some individual readings, you can write to me in the comments or contact me at astrotastrology@gmail.com, and we'll try and set up an appointment for maybe a Zoom, or we'll just do a quick little email reading. So if you're interested in that, definitely get in contact with me. I'm going to have some openings coming up in 2025. Just remember, the best things can happen when you aren't looking. And so Uranus can really be that uncomfortableness and that scariness, but it can also be beneficial. Be open to the new moon. It can expand your inner walls. Just push those walls open. Get ready to climb out of that cavern and just grow. 2025 is going to be exciting and a terrifying time of transformation because so much is happening. But you want to build your footing now and just get ready to climb that ladder and just start that new life. So have a happy new year. Set your intentions, set your sights high, and stick to the plan, y'all. Because when you ascend the ladder out of that cavern, they're going to be throwing balls at you. They're going to just be chucking things at you, all these planets, all these aspects, but you're going to hold tight, let them just bounce off you and just keep going. Keep with the plan. Don't give up. Remember to like and subscribe. And that will help me climb my ladder, because this is what I am trying to build and to succeed in, so that I can open up my horizons. Stay tuned, get notified. We got a lot of key transits coming up that we're going to talk about in our 2025 video coming up next week. So don't want to miss that. Going to be a lot of things. Let's grow together, guys. We can do this. We're going to have a great 2025, and I will see y'all soon. Bye.